3 months ago, you had dinner with someone you genuinely like. Real conversation, the kind that used to be easy. At the door afterward, when you said it, "We should do this more often." You both meant it. That is the part that matters. You both completely meant it. 3 months later, you have done it again exactly 0 times. Nothing went wrong. No fight, no fallout. The friendship just quietly began to die. Here is the strange part. Researchers can actually measure how a friendship forms, and it runs on a clock. A study by Jeffrey Hall at the University of Kansas put rough numbers on it. Roughly 90 hours of shared time to become friends. Over 200 to become close. Which means the thing killing your friendships was never a lack of chemistry. It was a lack of hours. And this one idea changes how you'll think about every friendship you have. Start here. Friendship has a physics, not a feeling, of physics. Hall found it takes about 50 hours together to turn acquaintance into a casual friend. Around 90 hours, they become a real friend. Past 200, someone genuinely close. These are medians, not laws, rough North Stars, with plenty of variation between people. But the underlying rule holds everywhere. Time is the input you cannot skip. Charm can lower the number of hours. Compatibility can lower it. Neither replaces the hours. Which explains the question everyone asks. Why isn't my coworker of 2,000 hours my close friend? The research splits time in two. Task time, spent on the work, and leisure time, spent on the friendship itself. Hours spent on a task barely count. The friendship-building hours are the unhurried, off-the-clock ones. So the number that should scare you is not 90. It is 0. 3 months of intending to see someone deposits 0 hours toward the friendship. Good intentions are not deposits. Only time on the calendar is. So why does adulthood make those hours so hard to find? Because you used to get them for free. School and college were friendship machines. They forced you into the same rooms, day after day. Repeated, unplanned time together. The exact raw material friendships are built from, arrived automatically. Nobody had to schedule it. The container did the work for you. Then you graduated, and the container quietly disappeared. Look at adult life closely, and the pattern is stark. Nothing in it produces friendship as a side effect anymore. Work gives you tasks, not leisure hours. A new city gives you errands, not a dorm corridor. Now, every hour with a friend has to be deliberately chosen, scheduled, and defended. And that is exactly where the great dinner from 3 months ago went to die. Two people like each other. Both intend to meet again. Neither one schedules it. The intention erodes. Within 4 months, the friendship gets quietly demoted. From someone I'm becoming friends with to someone I had a great dinner with once. No conversation marked that demotion. The calendar marked it by never marking anything. In an early friendship, frequency beats duration. 20 short coffees do more than 3 long dinners. Which is why the most powerful move is also the one adults forget. Before you part, ask the closing question, when are we doing this again? Then put on the calendar. Now, the fate itself. Researchers have a blunt name for how adult friendships end: slow death. In a 2022 review, Veith, Rothman, and Simpson found most friendships never end in a rupture. There is no fight, no betrayal, no dramatic final scene, just a gradual decrease in contact. Monthly becomes quarterly. Quarterly becomes twice a year. The twice-a-year plan gets canceled. 6 months pass with no contact. Then a year, and both people still feel warmth. Nobody decided to end it. It simply got crowded out of the calendar. This is the most common way a friendship dies, and the hardest one to see happening. There is even a shame loop that speeds it up. Watch how it tightens. You let too much time pass. Then, one day, you notice the gap. Now, the next message feels like it has to be big, an explanation for all that silence. A big message is hard to write, so you put it off, and more time passes. Every round makes the required message bigger and the silence heavier. The loop tightens on itself. Here is the cruelest part. Your brain quietly misreads the silence as rejection. Researchers who study loneliness have traced what it actually is, and it is not what most of us assume. Loneliness is not a character flaw. It is a signal, not a verdict, designed to be uncomfortable enough to move you. And a lonely brain, he found, starts reading neutral faces as hostile ones. So the friend's silence, which was only their own busy life, feels like a verdict on you. It usually isn't. They're almost certainly stuck in the very same loop about you. And because our culture has no script for a friendship ending, the loss has nowhere to go. The same researchers call it ambiguous loss, grief for someone still alive, just gone from your life. So here is the turn. If the fade is quiet, the repair is quieter and faster than you believe. Remember Hall's clock, the 50, 90 to 100 hours? Those hours do not vanish when a friendship goes quiet. They dim, but they do not reset to zero. The foundation is still under the floorboards, which makes reviving an old friend the cheapest, highest yield move you can make. A friend dormant 6 months? Usually one message. Dormant 2 years? Maybe 2 or 3 exchanges. You're not building a friendship from scratch. You are reawakening one that already exists. But the message you send matters. And the instinct almost everyone has is the wrong one. The instinct is to open with an apology. I'm so sorry it's been so long. But the apology makes the message about your guilt before they can even feel glad to hear from you. Anna Goldfarb, a journalist who documents dormant friendships, finds the opposite works. Shorter, with no apology, reconnects more reliably. One warm opener, one specific shared memory, one small, easy ask. That is the entire formula. But knowing the formula is not the hard part. Pressing send is. Here, psychology offers something genuinely freeing. It is called behavioral activation. We assume motivation comes first, then action. A 2014 review of the evidence found it runs the other way. Action comes first. The motivation, the warmth, the relief, those arrive after you move, not before. So the dread you feel before sending is not a warning. It is just the standard cost of the step. And the reply, when it comes, usually lands within a few days, often warmer than you expected. One message can pull a friendship from dormant back to alive. But keeping it, there is a different skill. And that skill is not grand gestures. It is a cadence, small, scheduled, deliberately boring. As one researcher put it, this is not romance. This is plumbing. Your best friendships get plumbing. The cadence has 3 simple gears. A monthly signal, a text, a voice note, a link. 2 minutes. A quarterly real conversation, a proper call, or a long walk. And an annual visit, face-to-face. None of it is dramatic. All of it is designed for the months when nothing is wrong. Because that is when friendships actually die, not in a crisis, but in the 14th quiet month. The calendar beats willpower every time. Wait until you feel like it, and you'll reach out maybe a third of the time. Set a recurring reminder and act on it, and you'll do it nearly every time. The friend never sees the reminder. They only feel the message arrive. So step back. If you feel friendship poor, it is almost never a personal failing. It is what happens when the container that used to make friends for you disappears, and nobody rebuilds it on purpose. Adulthood dismantles the machine and hands you no replacement. You have to become the machine yourself. And this is not a soft, optional thing. The stakes are physical. One analysis of 300,000 people found strong social ties shift survival odds by roughly 50%. So here is the quiet truth all of this leads to. Somewhere in the last 9 minutes, a specific face came to mind. A friend you have let drift. You are not really thinking about them. You're thinking about the message you owe them. Those are not the same thing. And the hours between you are still banked, dimmed under the floor. The message is short. No apology. Just thought of you today. You could send it before this ends.